Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Skilled Fawn, and today we're doing another Tomb Raider challenge run. And in this challenge run, we're going to be doing bows only, but on Deadly Obsession difficulty. And if you can't tell, there are a lot of modifiers for this that make it very hard. But I'll get straight on into the rules. So, bows only. Uh, Melee kills are allowed. A few missions are, force Lara to use a knife, but uh, there are melee attacks that do use the bow. Um, I gotta beat it on Deadly Obsession, and yeah. So these two modifiers are going to be very tough. Um, the game only saves at base camps, and I can't even use the survival instinct. Quite quite challenging, but like I do with most of the games that I cover for the first time, I'm gonna show off the story a bit more than I usually would. And then if I end up playing this again, I will probably, write off most of the story. Yeah, I think overall, like out of the three newer Tomb Raider games, this was my least favorite, like story wise. But like the mechanics and everything, like gameplay and combat wise, was just phenomenal. I think they added a lot of really cool things. Oh, it does suffer from the Assassin's Creed uh, jumping around stuff. Lara can just glitch out, and you're like, oh, I'm trying to like fall down and then grab onto the ledge, and she'll just decide to do a triple backflip and then kill herself. It's just not very responsive. But oh my gosh, so don't even get me started on this first mission. I won't go too crazy, but yeah, this was the first death, and I'm so used to Dark Souls and stuff that I instantly main menu. But yeah, that's not gonna save me. And yeah, that just this first mission, I would say maybe took an hour and a half just to get through. There's no base camps, which is fine. It's actually a pretty short mission, and it was a prelude to what's to come, foreshadowing the death I will suffer throughout this challenge run. But yeah, basically the story goes that I'm going after Trinity, after like all the stuff that they did before, because we were in like Siberia. I believe that's where the last game was, and now we're South America. Yeah, so there's this box dagger. Once they're combined, that's gonna summon a god. You just don't want that. So Lara's gonna take the dagger. I think that's one thing that the first game and the third game I do like a lot is it's a lot more. I mean, the second game definitely has like supernatural stuff, but the like first and third games just are like crazy with what they have. Yeah, I end up dying so many times. That's one of the reasons why it took an hour and 30 was that specific part right there where you have to make your way through those guys. And they have insane detection skills for Lara. It is quite extraordinary. Yeah, we meet the bad guy of the game. And yeah, I have to say, I actually didn't mind him as a bad guy up until like the very end with like the boss fight. You know, you'll see why, and I'll explain why later. And yeah, I either forgot to jump there or the A button didn't work. I'm guessing I just forgot to jump, but probably a major skill issue right there. Yeah, I finally got good and beat this mission. Thank God. It took way too long.
Lara?
Yeah, I think this challenge run in total, it took like 16 hours or 20 hours, somewhere around there. And out of like the 3 games, that was the most like lengthy. And I didn't even go for like all the optional stuff either, like the tombs that I did in the second game. But yeah, if you watch the challenge run of the first Tomb Raider that I made, and then this one, you'll see just how crazy different the game is. I think it it I don't know. When I was playing Rise of the Tomb Raider again, I was like, oh damn, really? There's like healing items that you have to craft. Like, oh, that's gonna be such a pain. I'm gonna have to, grind for an hour to just, find that stuff. But like most of the time, you just find that stuff on the way to like where you're going. You have like an abundance of it. It's not really something you have to think about all too much, unless you're just like, spamming the heals. But yeah, we uh crash on our way. We're trying to locate the box. We find our first base camp, our first save area. Thank God.
I didn't know the storm
I'm
would
able
hit so
to
hard.
view the
This is not my
skills.
fault. I should have listened to Jonah, thought it through. I never should have taken that job.
And
I hope
I don't know,
no one
something
else
about, I mean,
know what the
it's not
villains
really
of
that
Spirit
complicated, but I just much
need
rather
to
prefer
solve
the
these
skill
decisions
tree that
before
was
it's
in
too late.
the previous game, where it's like, oh, I don't know, it just looked a lot cleaner, I think, than that.
Why didn't I pack all my equipment together?
It's also like nice because like each of the separate skills were on different pages, which is like when you look at that, you're like, oh my gosh, like that is so many skills, and you just have to carefully go through them. So we get some skills,
I thought I got you
and
killed.
we get something that they had in the other games is whenever, or
Seems to be
mostly just the
getting worse
second
and
game, whenever
worse.
you go through an optional
Well,
tomb,
if we run
you'll
into any more jaguars.
permanently unlock a skill, which is pretty nice.
Gather's over here.
And in this game, they've got a few things. So they do take away the survival instinct, but they give you these herbs that you can like craft into like a type of medicine or a potion, and
What an
you're
incredible
actually able
discovery.
to like see pretty much everything in the environment, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this was quite frustrating.
God damn it!
It is frustrating whenever you have to like restart however much like progress you've lost, but usually whenever you like die in one of the tombs, you have to fully like restart. So that means like going back from the beginning again. Unless there's, a campfire there, but
Now to find my way out.
and we end up getting a really useful skill. Now we're gonna upgrade the bow. Now I'm mostly going for the draw speed if I can, just because that's like the most important thing. Because like no matter what, if you hit them in the head, it's gonna one-shot them unless they are like armored or something like that.
Lara Croft must
And
outwit
this is the point of the game where we kind of have a flashback, and we go to when Lara was a little girl, and she's solving her adventures. And yeah, it was pretty boring, I'm not gonna lie. Though the one thing that actually out of like this whole game was quite I don't know, it, like actually like made me care for the game was the scene. Quite uh sad to like see how Lara saw her dad. And the like other scene too was with like her family, and it was at the end. So stay tuned for that. But I mean, this game definitely has like other good things. It's mostly just the combat that's good. I don't think the story's good at all in this game. But yeah, we end up making it to a village.
I'll let you do the
Um, we meet this girl named Abby. We're gonna explore a challenge tomb nearby. And I'm not gonna show like all the challenge tombs that I did. Uh,
to get over there.
I'm gonna just show off some of them. And this was one of the cooler ones, I would say. I did mess up here, quite stupid, but I got to see a pretty funny death cutscene. Kind of like in Saw, that game that I played. How it's just funny when you die, just because you just see like a funny especially if it's like a unique trap. It was just always funny. And yeah, Lara definitely has her fair share of funny traps. But yeah, we get another tomb complete, another skill permanently unlocked, and I figured I'd been doing a bit of side stuff, so we'll get back on track with the main story. And we're gonna investigate this painting slash mural. And at the very beginning, I'm not sure if I showed it, but uh, we basically got like a few clues saying like something to do with the twins and find the hidden village and then find the eye. So that's what we're trying to do. And we figure out that the twins mean Twin Peaks. Trying to find the mountains. And yeah, this is where definitely say start like things start getting really tough in the game. So this is like where you're trying to be really stealthy, or you could go guns blazing, but it's way better to go stealthy. And I would say like 15 to 20 seconds after you kill someone, if they're like, I mean, they're not going to be back, uh, the other people will go crazy and start searching for them. So like it is quite difficult. Like usually, uh, whenever you kill an enemy, uh, I mean, I think like even in the first game, I don't mean they like barely search for them. Yeah, unfortunately, the damage means if I'm not getting a headshot, it is gonna be like at least 2 shots to the body, which is fine. So this game does have unique arrows similar to the second game. The first game only had fire arrows, I believe, but in this game there's 4 types. Definitely not as cool as the second game. The second game had some sick arrow types, like a grenade arrow that was very fun to use. But in this one, there's one that like poisons the enemy and makes them go crazy and turn on their friends. And in this game, there's a lot of under water stuff, which I really did enjoy. It was fun exploring around, especially in like going into some of the hidden tombs, there's like some underwater areas. There's like piranhas and eels you gotta watch out for. Definitely, you know, spiced up the game a bit. So this is the trials now, and we got past the spider trial, and we're making it to the eagle.
Incredible.
In this eagle trial, I died a few times. It's mostly just
Something to do with the wind.
being slow, and I just was not slow about it, not patient. You'll see deaths here, but yeah, it could have been a lot quicker, and I end up making it pass and getting to this really cool part, which is very cool but very unrealistic. Um, I don't know, it's just funny to me. That would be insane if you could do this. It's just crazy because Lara like swings and then unhooks the grapple from whatever it was attached to, and then has to get it to the next one. That would be just impossible.
Thank you.
But we end up finding a native, and he's all chained up. We see some other natives. We're gonna talk to them, figure out what's going on.
Who are you? What's your purpose here? I'm a researcher. Lara Croft.
We find out basically that the hidden city is where they live, and that we're gonna go on to the next step, which is finding the eye.
You're my heir.
But
You must not court
first, we're
unnecessary danger.
just trying to find the box first.
This woman have found us?
Yeah, she's pretty disappointed in him. Makes sense. Like he did just go on off on his own, like as a little kid. It's like, damn, bro, you gotta be careful.
You're already here. Paititi, the hidden city. But what's this eye?
And yeah, the eye place though is pretty cool. It's like basically
And you think
this
you're
pit where they just behead people and then just chuck them off. It's just it was
This must be the place
gross
Ashley
but
mentioned.
fun to climb up. Kind of funny at first. I did not know where to jump because
Lara,
I mean, like
steady.
after the fact it's pretty obvious, but um
Ritual
one
sacrifice.
thing about the deadly obsession is it just the makes the whole game take slightly longer because there's no like
Is this the
indication of
RAIDER
where to go
luggage
really.
chamber?
You just have to purely figure out everything on your own. Even like things that are interactable, you have to figure out that. Like this one puzzle, I didn't realize that the smaller um column there you could actually spin using the top. I didn't realize there was rope on the top of it. I was trying to figure out how to spin it for the like, longest time. I'm like, oh gosh, there's literally a thing I can connect it to. But we end up figuring out the blood oil puzzle. Pretty cool. And we get the
This
silver
must be the part
serpent.
that's missing.
We're gonna progress on through. The Trinity members catch up to us and kill Lara yet again. That, I'm not gonna lie, was a pretty weak cutscene, but it was still pretty funny.
This must be the place Ashley mentioned. Here it is.
And now we're trying to find the Eye of the Serpent. This game is, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the story. I mean, I definitely can like understand why people would be a fan of it. I think the combat and stuff is cool. I'm just not the biggest fan of the story, but like all the places in this game are just very well crafted, and like everything just looks amazing. Crazy. I mean, we are in those like modern times though, where games look good, but just play like crap. So at least it, I don't know, I think it at least plays decently well. Besides maybe the final boss. We'll get to that when we get to that. So you can see I'm using one of the herbs, and it is quite helpful. And eventually I get a third herb. I think there's 4, but the third one that I do get is like a damage resistance one. And that was very useful, especially for areas where there's a ton of enemies or like the final boss. We're gonna head on through, and yeah, another super cool area going down in this whole. You end up finding another temple in this area. I dove underwater and I was just like, oh, there's some treasure over here. And of course, there was like a ton of piranhas, and I did not see them. They just got Lara. Uh, yeah, I kept on progressing through and wanted to, do more of the challenge tombs just because if there is a good perk locked behind one of them, I do want to get it. Especially because in the previous game, or I don't know if it was in the first game, but at least in the second game, there was a perk that when you were gonna die, it would just bring you back to life once, like full health. And that was the perk that I was trying to go after. So we're gonna investigate what the captain hauled in on the Spanish galleon. And we actually get this was a very good perk because I mean Lara has to, catch breath pretty frequently underwater, which I mean is quite realistic. But then and now we, don't have to go to those air pockets that much anymore. And I do get ambushed, and of course they always try and put another gun in my, or another weapon in my hand that's not the bow. Like, come on, I'm doing a bow only run. I wish I could unequip the other weapons. That's the one thing I will say about this game. That's, like a few parts. I mean, there's like always going to be a few sections, but it was a lot less than the previous 2 games where it like forced a certain weapon on you. Besides, like melee, like there was definitely, heavy melee stuff, but usually in like the first game, it was like, oh, use the pistol in this section. Oh, you got trapped. You got to use the pistol to get out. Stuff like that. There was very few like doors that you had to destroy with shotguns. But we got to open up this massive gate, and basically it's just a puzzle of redirecting the water. I do that, and of course all the other native tribe. These guys are a bit wild, but honestly, I don't even know if I had to have fought them. I think I could have just jumped in the water and just kept on going. But I don't know. It's nice just to take them down so you can at least see what they have. Sometimes they have really good loot. And yeah, they do. It's got to be like 3 shots till you die. I'm surprised on that second hit I didn't die, but Okay, we open up the door. We're gonna head on in. The tribe, they're watching us, making sure we don't do anything funny we already haven't done. Oh, Lara. Yeah, this chick, she's got like, I don't even know what's on her shoulder. It's got to be like parts of rib cages or something. But yeah, I don't know. That's a look. That's for sure. I don't think it'd be a look in modern times, but yeah, again, like this game is just so beautiful. Like wherever you go, like Elden Ring, you just like look one direction. You're like, damn, like
An eclipse and a heron.
I don't know, just
Tattoos on Unuratu's
catches
arm.
your eye. But we find the box isn't even here.
Where's the box?
Crazy, and not sure how just like slightly moving leaves causes like this whole place to break down, but and then yeah, she goes a bit crazy and starts sending her ghouls after me. We're gonna escape through. Yeah, I make my way and I jump across the gap as the guy's like 2 inches away from me. These guys are like terrible bowmen. They've been practicing like all their life with just that. They just can't even make it. But I can't even make this, overhang lateral jump, so I mean who am I to say? So yeah, of course, once I died right there, everything that you saw previously I had to repeat. That's a good like 30 minutes, I'd say, if not like 45. So yeah, it's always fun to redo sections you've done before. But at this point in the game, we get the like enemy factions outfit, so we're able to enter their camp.
Innocent eyes will blink at dawn when weakness falls away.
You may enter.
I definitely feel like that's a problem with wearing this type of outfit, especially just because you can hide your face so easily. You can just like anyone can say like the code to someone else. Like, that is not very secure.
I know.
But yeah, Unaradu is gonna show us this tomb nearby.
The tomb is up there, on that statue. I'll watch the gate. I won't be long. Jonah, we're close to the Emperor's tomb.
We're by the river, ready to get you and Unuratu out of there. Let me know when you're ready.
And yeah, we get back where Unaradu was, and she got shot.
Give this to Etzli.
Very, very sad.
He's a rightful heir.
I actually did like her character a decent bit,
We'd better do a
but
Anything interesting in that new shipment?
I just think the overall like story was just not the best.
I'll take point. Better safe than
I hope they do make more of these games. It seems like it's just gonna be a trilogy, but maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is one reason why the rules I put that there, because there are ton of sections in this game that just force Lara to like only use a knife or just like it's like it's just very weird, not fun. So I had to suffer through that,
It's a
die
recipe for
many
explosives,
times,
sometimes used in war.
mostly because of the guys with the thermal goggles. They would absolutely tear me up, and they've got shotguns too. So it's just like holy crap, they like
This should
two-shot
work.
me. Yeah, this is where we
Confidence is
get
in my arrows and
the
how good my
arrows that
advantage
are going to
against
be
foes.
insanely useful. You're able to shoot these at the enemy, and they just shoot other people for you. That's really nice.
Show me her
We'll
close,
showcase
and
it
your
right
giant
here.
team is next in line for deacon training. Rourke out.
You heard the man. Let's do this.
And yeah, it's very useful. We also get this other really useful tool. I've showed it previously, but we're able to basically assassinate people and bring them back up. It's almost like in Batman. You're able to like rope people up from the perch spots. That's a game I gotta play soon. I've seen so much stuff on YouTube again after that newest like crap fest of open world game. They tried to rival the Batman series. Yeah, we get ambushed by a BTR and a Hind and just a ton of troops. We're gonna make our way out of there, and we end up in Peru now. And yeah, some of these tombs are quite cool. This is the Tree of Life, and this is exactly where that skill I mentioned earlier is, which I was very happy to have stumbled upon it. And yeah, this tomb and the tomb afterwards are some of the cooler ones. I mean, the ones at the beginning are like really like, you know, interesting, but these ones were
There's an inscription
like that optional one, and then this like
Lucha
uh
Habitus.
one with Christ was just
While you have the light.
very cool. So this one is you basically have to, you know, keep the light with you and like, you know, move things around, like using the mirrors and such.
I wouldn't want to be buried in here. My head tossed behind a cross somewhere.
And yeah, it's like
While you have
each
the
station of the
light,
cross
the darkness
pretty
will
much.
not overtake
That's like
you.
some of the
It's like a hint.
earlier ones, and you gotta
This looks like the virtue.
choose the correct one, and if you don't, you die.
Jesus meets his
Which
match.
I did not die to one of the traps, but I should have just to
What happened to these people?
see like what it was.
Looks like the light activated something.
Lara! Are you alright?
Yeah, that one was rusted, so
We're lucky it was a
we're gonna
level.
make our way through.
This must be
Try not
Station.
to
Yeah,
get
Let's
hit.
have a look at these frescoes.
these people look like they were tortured. Hung up in the ceiling.
I don't think this was just a crypt.
And yeah, unfortunately the after I did this, I died like gosh, I died when I don't know, it was like this fight scene afterwards, and it just had it basically brought me back to the beginning of this whole thing. And this is a really cool tomb, but like the beginning you have to like find these two paintings in the wall, and then you gotta, you know, do all this walking in here. it was just let's just say it was very fun.
Lara,
But yeah,
is that what I
like
think it is?
look at
Stations of the cross
like this
again.
whole place. Like it is
Isn't this sacrilegious?
very
Necessarily.
very cool,
Could
but
have
like
been
messed
anyone
up
to their
too.
knowledge.
Or they were just sick.
This must be Station 6.
Yeah, we're gonna move the light to the next one. We're doing the stations of the cross, as I mentioned. This is the next station. We open up the door to where the dude that built this place, yeah, had it. Yeah, right as we open it, we do find the boxes in his hand and a warning on the top of his tomb.
Guess it's you then.
He led us on this goose chase. He sabotaged every clue.
All to keep this box from Trinity.
And the people of Paititi. He was totally consumed by it.
Lara grabs the box. Of course, right as she grabs it, everything starts going to shit. The whole place just starts falling apart. Lara, come on, you knew something bad was gonna happen, especially after you opened up that dagger. You grabbed it from the place. But yeah, this is where I died, as I mentioned. Oh gosh, you would not think that there's like 10 guys over here, but there's like maybe 10 to 12 guys. At least it seems that way. Maybe there's probably like just eight or so, but there's just a ton of dudes. And they all have armor helmets on, so at least 2 shots. I'm not missing. Yeah, unfortunately, I am not the perfect shot. And yeah, they just start flanking me, and at this point, I'm pretty much screwed. So yeah, I had to restart that whole area. Very fun, very fun. It's yeah, go through that whole section. But these arrows that basically plant like mines on the enemies are insanely good, because you can basically just lure the enemies, if like more than one left, over to where they died, and you'll get like 2 or 3 kills depending on who's there. I end up taking out the last few guys. We're gonna progress on. This was quite funny because you can use the just regular arrows to lead them the way you want. Yeah, we're in the final mission now, and
Where's the box?
this is probably what took up most of my time,
We'll get
was
it back before he
the
completes
final
it.
mission, especially the final boss.
I can't believe
Uh,
how much Etsley has grown.
Here you can see all the kills I got. Ended up getting, a decent amount, but there's still so many left that, you could get, which is pretty crazy. Um, in this mode, though, I obviously can't use the survival instincts, so, like, that cuts a good amount of perks off. Especially the perks that were in the top left. They basically have something to do with survival instinct mode.
If we approach them head on,
best chance to intercept them, but we could easily be overwhelmed.
So yeah, we're gonna talk to Etsley one last time.
Your path lies that way.
Say bye to Jonah. We're gonna head on in. We're gonna take our sniper perch.
I want you to have this. For luck.
Even though Lara only has like, I mean, I think actually there is a variant of the assault rifle that you can use for a sniper, but it would have been cooler if they just gave you like a EBR or something for this part. I mean, I obviously wouldn't have used it, but it definitely, if you are looking for a challenge, I highly suggest playing this game. I don't know, I think, you know, like all the other challenge runs I've done have been tough, but this was way tougher overall.
Was this Unaratu's destiny?
It'd be like, I don't know, in Dark Souls 1, you got to like a Norlondo, you fought Ornstein and Smo, and like you fought Seath, but then like somehow after Seath you died and you had to go all the way back to like before Norlondo. It's just like, damn. Yeah, this is the Crimson Fire. That lady that was like halfway through the game when we were opening up that tomb.
To defeat Kukulkan.
I do think it's pretty cool how her and Lara have this like pact together. Because then like after this cutscene, you like walk through her like army and they're all just like chanting and like, I don't know. It's just so funny. Like, sorry guys, I know I did shoot a few of you. I was just trying to survive. Yeah, pretty funny. But yeah, we're gonna head on in and find the bad guy. Eventually at his place, he's trying to do the ritual. You can see all these guys there jumping onto the helicopter, which I thought it was pretty funny. Like, holy crap, though. They must have known they were just, like, gonna die. Like, alright, let's sacrifice our life for the queen or whatever. So yeah, this is I don't know, I've complained a decent bit during this video, but I think this boss fight is definitely justifiable, like for all the anger it gets. It's just such a terrible boss fight, and I was quite trash at actually getting to the boss fight in the first place, but yeah, the boss fight, it's like a 5 or 6 phase boss fight, and like one of the modifiers just for this like mode. Oh, Lara, well, you can't die like that. One of the modifiers is you don't have as much ammo when you pick up stuff, so like in the boss fight arena there's just not that much, which I will say that it was my fault partly that I did go into the boss fight unprepared. Or like with the resources that I had, I could have geared up slightly more, but I had to use, you know, a decent bit of ammo and health and stuff like that beforehand when fighting the guys previously. But I had a pretty good strategy of just knocking one of the, I guess, like totems down, and then just instantly going for the next one, not even worrying about the guys, because right as you like unlock the ability to fight the boss, it despawns all the people. I just didn't even want to waste ammo at that point, because every arrow counts. So I did have a good armor piece that let me, whenever I crafted arrows, I would get one more extra arrow. But I had to play this pretty meticulously and, you know, just not take it too fast. But yeah, basically you just stab him a few times, and then you run back, you shoot him about like 10 to 20 times, do the same thing, he spawns a few more guys, stab him. Yeah, it's just like drinking water, it becomes normal. Especially, yeah, once you try doing it for like 2 hours or however long I did. Oh gosh, this boss fight just made me really appreciate every other boss fight I've done. But yeah, we're gonna say goodbye. He's gonna give us his powers, try and save the world. And yeah, I mentioned there were 2 things in this game that I did like really felt like moved by, and just like actually felt like I cared about the game. And it was at the end of that mission with Lara as a little girl, but this mission, or I guess this cutscene right here, where like Lara just says goodbye to her mom and dad.
Goodbye, Dad.
It's just quite sad because I mean, over the trilogy you do hear a bit about them, but they really put an emphasis on her backstory in this game. And yeah, I think that cutscene paid off pretty well. Definitely a nice one. But yeah, I thought the first time I played this, I thought she was actually gonna sacrifice herself, like full on just get stabbed and like blood and then die. But I mean, that's probably equally as painful. But yeah, she did not actually die, which I guess is good if they want to make another sequel. But I don't think they will. So yeah, that's Shadow of the Tomb Raider bows only on Deadly Obsession. It was really fun and very challenging. I don't mean that lightly. But yeah, definitely give it a go if you know, you like that stuff. I may one day, you know, go back and play these games again, maybe do like a pistol only or something, and you know, play it that way, or maybe even melee. I think melee might be a bit more interesting. But yeah, expect to see a bunch of Elden Ring stuff coming soon. Got fist weapons, torch only, and I'm finishing up Dark Souls 3 SL1. So if you're interested to see that, I'll be live streaming that on Twitch. So go over there, check me out. And yeah, this is Skilled Fawn. Have a fantastic day. Take care.